What's up, everybody? This is Jacob. I am from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I'm currently living, and I am 22 years old. I feel like a grandpa saying that, but anyways, this is week 1 on Running on T 2011, and the topic for this week is introductions and 7 interesting things in your transition thus far. So I'm just going to get those things rattled off for you. The first thing that I was able to come up with is the fact that since I am pretty much perceived 100% as male in the community, I have become a lot more involved in the gay club scene. I hang out with a lot of gay guys, a lot of drag queens. I hang out with a lot of other people too. There's a pretty interesting mix of friends that I always keep around me. But the gay community, gay men specifically, really have a whole different mentality and a whole really strange and interesting, captivating look on the world, and you don't really want to get sucked into it, and I hope that I don't. Just like I hoped that I'd never get sucked into the Midwest, fall in love with St. Louis and never be able to leave, but I think that charm might be chipping away at me. So the second interesting thing through my transition thus far is the fact that I am starting a new workout and diet plan. As of tomorrow, I will be working out 6 days a week and doing intermittent fasting, which is where you fast for 14 hours and then you have your 8-hour window where you plan your 3 meals. So ideally that most of your fasting time is during sleeping, but in theory this increases your metabolism exponentially, and the guy that came up with it, his name is Martin Berkham, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I can link his blog, or you can find it on my personal channel, which is bonesdgaff021, and I'll log into there and leave a comment on this video so that you can find me directly. But yeah, the idea behind working out 6 days a week and resting and doing yoga and meditation on the 7th day is that I'll be putting the testosterone to work, and on Monday I have my next shot, and it's my new testosterone brand that I'm switching to, testosterone enanthate. I was on cypionate for 6 months, so I am eager to see the changes that come with the new blend, and I will be, of course, continuously updating on my personal channel about that as well. The third point that I could come up with about interesting things in transition is how I'm able to act much more confident in a men's restroom, which has a lot to do with passing, and I've seen a lot of videos that try to give passing tips, and I think one thing a lot of the guys have not mentioned is keeping your head up and your shoulders back right when you walk in, because it's all about making a first impression, and men will judge you with a very quick instinct. They will either make eye contact or they won't. You kind of have to determine whether or not they're going to, and of course if they're looking at you, you don't want them to see you looking at them at the same time. That's just bad all over the place. But of course you also don't like look at anybody at a urinal, and you of course maintain all proper bathroom etiquette too, but the point is to project an air of energy that you just can't be dominated, you can't be intimidated, and I don't know if that will work for everybody, but since I do pass now in men's spaces, the only thing that I get nervous about is lacking facial hair, but I know that my voice compensates for it, and people say I act very masculine because I stay cool-headed, and I keep my voice pretty low and just pretty normal, I guess. So the next thing, point 4, is that my linear thinking and my spatial reasoning have probably increased, and what I mean by that is I used to be terrible at math, and I think this might be going leveling back out to how it used to be now because I feel like I'm struggling more with math. But for the first 5 months, I would say I definitely felt way more increase in my abilities to navigate cardinal directions as well as perform basic math skills and even a little bit more complex math skills. Which of course the more and more advanced you get with it, it takes more practice, and that has nothing to do with hormones. You can't just magically inject yourself and all of a sudden be better at some subject. I don't think that estrogen makes you better at English, even though I do feel like my language skills are a bit more challenged now that I have more testosterone in my body. But also at the same time, I also would be able to write poetry. It just would be my whole manner of speaking, I think, would be different. My method of delivery for things like spoken word would change, just because my personality, I would say that it has been slightly changed, and it's ever changing too. So, but anyways, not to get off topic. The next point is that I feel like I used to have really big hopes and dreams, and I feel like I used to have a lot of a plan and a direction for my life and like things that I was gonna do. And maybe it's just the fact that I'm not financially stable right now, but I feel like I haven't really planned ahead for anything, and that's caused me to end up in a really bad spot right now. Um, I've been reduced to begging, which is not the funnest thing in the world, but I mean, you have to do what you have to do to survive. And some days I feel kind of content to just get by on merely surviving, but most days I feel like I want to succeed and I have a lot of ambition, so I'm no longer comfortable just flying by the seat of my pants anymore and worrying about like where my next meal is coming from. I want a nest egg and I want to invest in something, um, which is a large metaphor for other things in my life. If you know me, you probably know what I mean. But all I am really sure of right now is the inconsistency of my life and the fact that I'm unhappy and I need a routine and a schedule to really thrive. But so I have a couple minutes left, and another thing I wanted to mention, another interesting thing in my transition is the fact that my parents have sort of silently deserted me. They haven't really helped out with my situation other than the fact that my dad buys my groceries on his food stamps. My mom has owed me a little bit of money that I gave her in confidence when I had extra from tips from work, and now I'm flat broke and have nothing, and I have to pretty much call her out on Facebook and wipe her dirty laundry all over just to get her to send me a money order for this money back because I have nothing to eat and I can't even afford to feed myself. Like I said, I am not above begging anymore at this point. But, interestingly enough, my grandmother, who said that she would love me no matter what and I'm always her kid, the one who raised me, has invited me back into her home. We moved, but my life would pretty much be transplanted. I would be able to attend community college there. I'd be able to use public transportation until I got a vehicle, and she's willing to help me get a car. So that's really awesome, and I think that I'm probably going to be going back there for the summer. If not to work and save up to try to come back to St. Louis, I may not even want to come back to St. Louis. I may just want to stay in Arizona for a while until I get a more advanced degree and can move to Colorado, which is where I dream of living. Ultimately, I want to work in a spa and do alcohol and drug abuse counseling in a clinic there, or just have my own business out of my house doing holistic therapies on my own independently. And so I only have a few seconds left, but the last point I wanted to make is that I'm a lot more assertive now, of course, which is a lot of things. One major thing that a lot of guys mention on T, I'm not ashamed to speak my mind. I'm no longer ashamed to ask for help when I need it. I can admit when I've made a mistake, and I can also apologize when the situation calls for. And when I have wronged somebody, I regret it, and I look for ways to repent and, of course, repay my wrongdoings to people. And I'm resolving a lot of that karma in my life right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, subscribe, and find me on Facebook. Alright, bye.